everyone. Welcome to Q&A Thursday. Today we are here with Holly Niles. She is a licensed clinical nutritionist who specializes in functional medicine, and she is here to graciously answer some questions that you guys had for us that you posted in the comments. And she's going to answer them as best as we're going to pick just a few to focus on today, guys, but keep those questions coming because we'll be back every week to answer your questions with different special guests. All right, so we are going to kick it off with the first question. We had somebody ask us if breakfast is really the most important meal of the day.
Well, thanks for those questions. Yeah, that's actually an excellent question. A lot of people are probably aware that we have a lot of intermittent fasting happening now where people are actually skipping breakfast or holding off that meal. So I think we give that answer as a qualified answer. It depends on who you are. In functional medicine, we're always trying to personalize every approach. So for some people, having breakfast in the day depends on the demands of their life, what their health issues are is probably super important, but breakfast should always have protein. It should be grounded that way. So breakfast is not donut, muffin, sugary coffee. That's not breakfast. That's more like dessert. So, and then for other people, maybe skipping or prolonging that time between their last meal, their dinner, and their breakfast might be really helpful for energy production or sometimes, improving metabolism and things. So that answers a little bit of maybe a combo answer, and the question's a little bit of a trick question. So I would say it depends on who you are.
That's great. That's exactly what we need to hear. Everybody is so different. So thank you for that. Another question that we had was, what are some examples of some good anti-inflammatory foods?
Well, I think when you think about the idea of anti-inflammatory foods, we always have to step back and say, what are you first eating that drives inflammation? So is something we think, okay, that really helps quench inflammation in the body, but we want to start first with what should I take away that is driving so much inflammation? So I would say the first thing you want to think about is the sugar, poor quality fats, processed carbohydrates, food that you actually do not have to get out of your car to obtain. That's usually a good sign that that's a really inflammatory food. So if we flip that and say, okay, I'm really going to focus my diet now on things that dial down inflammation, of course, the first thing is going to be vegetables, right? So fruits and vegetables. So plants, they're the rock stars of the food world. So the more plants you get, the better. If you choose a multiple amount of colors in a day, that gives you another bonus. Then we would think of things like healthy fats, nuts, seeds, even some of the fatty fish. Those are all really anti-inflammatory foods, but I think it's important to think of the balance. And your first step is to stop the foods that really drive the inflammation in the body.
That's great. So more kind of almost like a crowning out approach, like get rid of what doesn't work and add in what does.
Indeed. Yes.
Okay, and then we had one more question that we're going to answer today, and that one was, what kind of snacks do you recommend to ease sugar cravings?
Yeah, that's such a great question. Sugar, your mouth is really the only part of your body that is happy with the sugar experience, right? After you swallow, the rest of the body, if it got to vote, would say, like, yikes, what just happened to me? So sometimes just reducing the amount of sugar you eat will help the cravings. But if you're really trying to get a really grounding snack, you always want to have it grounded in protein. So it should have, nuts, seeds, even, a little turkey. If you're somebody who eats dairy, maybe an organic string cheese or maybe some hummus with veggies. So you always want your snack to have protein in it and not lean completely on carbohydrates like fruit or a bar or something like that. So I think that's probably the easiest way. But you always want to notice how much sugar you have in your day because sugar will drive its own cravings for more. So it's, again, it's a bit of both.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks so much, Holly. That's great. We answered 3 questions. Guys, tune in every Thursday. We'll be back. So bring those questions on to us and we'll be happy to answer them. And you can find us every Thursday at 3 o'clock right here. So stay tuned. Thanks so much, Holly. We appreciate your information and your wealth of knowledge.
My pleasure.